and welcome to Game Day 9 Premier League review show. I'm Gav Mack, that's Steven Cotton. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good. How are you? Had a good day?
Yeah, it's been all right. Watching football, chilling with my daughter. Can't moan. Love the old school. It's big man, little man, two up top, the original.
It is. Original selector.
You can follow us on all social media at Two at Top Football. You can see it going across the bottom of the screen. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please do. Really love it if you did. www.youtube.com/Two Up Top Football. Right then, let's get into stuff. What have we just watched here? Liverpool 3, Leicester 0. Did you enjoy that game, Cotton?
I enjoyed the first 10 minutes of it because it looked like it was going to be a contest, and then as soon as Liverpool got that one goal, that was sort of it. I think Leicester, you could tell in this game their game plan was right. Let's get the ball to Vardy, and they just couldn't get the ball to Vardy, so the game just ended there. Positives from watching the game: Jota looks like an absolute joke, doesn't he? He looks so good.
We banged on about him for ages, though, haven't we? We banged on about him for a long time when he was at Wolves and stuff. Look at what he was doing in the Europa League last year as well, scoring hat tricks for fun. Jota's the guy, is the real deal, and I'm really happy that he has made a big move. It's just a shame that he's gone to Liverpool for me.
Someone tweeted me saying when he scored, it was like, oh, and you said it wasn't the signing for Liverpool. I was like, no, never said that. I said it isn't the signing they needed. They need centre-backs and midfielders. I didn't say they shouldn't sign him or it wasn't a good signing. But yeah, honestly, as a neutral watching that game, I was really expecting a proper swashbuckling end-to-end affair, and it was just so flat, man.
Man. I wanted a knees up with that game. I mean, Stu Mitchell messaged me over from America and was like, "Oi, 3-3 on this game." I was like, yeah. I could feel that. I could really feel that, and it just didn't have it. You were saying about, pump the ball up to Vardy and that sort of stuff. Liverpool are so known for playing such a high line, but after that tonking that they got from Villa, they've had to be a bit more defensive. I know they've got hardly any defenders knocking about, but defensively they didn't really look that touched today.
No, they didn't at all. Robertson had a good game for what he had to do. Most of the reason that he had a good game was him going forward, not defending. Yeah, I mean, Liverpool, the defence, like I just said, they did what they had to do, but there wasn't much for them to do. There was a couple of crazy moments in the game. Starting off with Johnny Evans' own goal, he's just
good header.
It's good header. He's just so busy.
It reminds me of Chicharito with was it against Arsenal when he scored that back? He did it against Stoke. Yeah, back heel header, back of the head. Curled it round in that. Good effort.
But he's not watching the ball. He's so interested in Mane and just too interested in where the player's going, what he's doing. That when the cross actually drops, it's not like he heads it in. It just kind of hits him because he's not paying attention. He's too busy checking where Mane's gone. So that was 1-0. Jota scored to make it 2. There's a good goal. And then there was the only real thing of note in the game was Firmino's goal that they've officially measured it. It was 10 millimeters. About 99.2% of the ball is over the line.
I know.
But do you know what I don't understand?
Not the whole of the ball went over the line, so it's frustrating, isn't it? But he made up for it seconds later.
But do you know what I don't understand though? I got well annoyed about it. He just stands there and looks at the ball.
Yeah.
Just thump it in. It's on the
line.
Do
something.
Yeah, but he got his goal in the end. An absolutely towering header in the 86th minute. Game was honestly done and dusted. As soon as the second goal went in, that was pretty much it. Leicester mounted a bit of a late comeback. I say comeback. It was they strung a few passes together and finally worked it into the box again. But that was about it. Do you know what? Liverpool won 3-0. Comfortable performance for them. I don't think anyone really shone. I think Jota was good. Mane was snatching at chances. Could have squared it to Jota. He got greedy.
Mane was very greedy today. He was very Salah with his performance. I think I even mentioned it in the group. That's just something that Salah does. Salah will, if he's through on goal, he could, and it's not an easy opportunity, he'll still go for it anyway rather than squaring it. And it's frustrating. Mane's not about that, and I think that's why a lot of people prefer Mane. But now we stepped into those shoes right now, and it's like, come on, mate, you should be doing better. But there's another injury for Liverpool, and that's Naby Keita.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Big.
A hamstring, wasn't it? It looked like a tight hamstring. So they're losing another midfielder, which means that even when Fabinho comes back, he's got to go straight back into defence now rather than midfield. So I mean, what? But the problem is, we said this last week. What do Liverpool do? Because if they go out and buy anyone in January, by the time everyone's fit again, they're just going to be surplus. Unless they buy someone world class, that means when they all come back, that someone's not going to get back in the team, which I don't think is what Klopp's about. So it's just really unlucky for him at the minute. And I think we touched on it a few weeks ago, and I was very against it because the bigger teams would profit from it. But I think seeing all the injuries coming back from international break and just general wear and tear already in the league, going to have to bring the 5 subs back, aren't they? They're going to have to.
Yeah, they brought it back in the EFL, so I don't understand why the EFL are so welcome to it, but then there's still a number of Premier League clubs that don't want it. And I think that is a fear factor from the bigger clubs, from the smaller clubs, thinking that the bigger clubs are going to use that depth later on in the game in order to benefit from it. But at the moment, as you said, with the amount of injuries that are happening, it needs to be done. It needs to be done. Yeah. 5 subs need to come back. There was an injury earlier on today to a player, but it had nothing to do with muscle tear or anything like that.
Hold on. Before we move on, I just want to say congratulations to Liverpool because they've just broke their record for how many games unbeaten.
Yes, from 1979 till 1982, I believe, and it was Ray Clements as well, who was between the sticks those days, and a shout out there, rest in peace, Ray Clements. And well done. James Whitkiss has just said, agreed, bigger clubs will benefit. Other clubs still have decent squad sizes as well, and I think, there are a couple of teams that are knocking around down the bottom that could benefit from having that extra sub, just try and change things up a little bit. They have to be so astute with their changes so many times. But
I don't think it's a case of, like we said before, it's not a case of squad depth. It is a case of there's a massive difference when it's Sheffield United versus Aston Villa than when it's Sheffield United versus Man United. Or what the West Brom game, say the West Brom game yesterday, right? And it's still 0-0 after 70 minutes. And then off the bench we make 5 changes or whatever, and we bring on we bring the players, we bring on Greenwood, we bring on Pogba, we bring on Van Dijk. Do you know what I mean? It's not about squad depth. It is the bigger clubs have an Arsenal on the bench where the smaller clubs do have players to bring on and use, but not to the caliber that the bigger clubs do have.
Yeah, you said the word Arsenal, so it's a nice little transition into that. Leeds 0, Arsenal 0. I don't really think there's much to say on this game, other than the fact that Leeds should feel very hard done by today with their 20-plus shots. I think it was 6 on target in the end. They hit the woodwork 473 times, was it?
Yeah.
I do feel for them. They deserved to win today, did Leeds?
They deserve to win, but that's what happens when you don't like. Okay, we're like, all joking aside, giving him a hard time the other week, and he has scored a few. How many goals should Bamford actually have had today? If he was clinical when he was scoring, there was plenty of opportunity. There was easy opportunities for him. So, yeah, it's unfortunate they didn't win the game, but it's not like they had one chance to snatch the game. They had 10 decent chances and didn't take one single one of them. So I couldn't really care less. The game was ruined by Pepe being a petulant fool. Literally ruined the game because that was it. Arsenal just had to sit back. What more can you do? They did try and hit Leeds on the break. But yeah, Pepe headbutting Alioski, wasn't it?
Yes. There was a bit of drama just before then because there was a bit of argy-bargy off the ball. But I'm not being funny. When you are playing, you can't even get away with something like that on a Sunday morning. So what makes you think that at a Premier League ground you could get away with doing something like that when there's 29 cameras for a live TV game? There's also the VAR, and if whatever reason all of those miss it, the watching fan is going to see all that happen as well, and therefore put it on social media, tweet it and stuff. It will get circulated. Easy to get retrospective punishment on that. But now he's going to miss the next 3 games. I don't think it's going to affect Arsenal that much because Pepe has done absolutely nothing since he signed for Arsenal, apart from score a couple of free kicks in the Europa League, which were sublime, by the way.
But the thing is as well, like, I could kind of let him off if he was 19, 20. Let's not forget, Pepe's older than
25.
everyone actually thinks. He's 25. He has absolutely been suckered in. Like, they've had a little bit of a nibble further on up the pitch. They've come back to it, and Alioski, all he's done is squared up to him, and like, he's literally, he may as well have just said to Pepe, go on, mate, go on.
Yeah, he's anticipated it.
On me. And he's just gone wham! Like, he's literally brought it.
He hasn't gone wham. It's very soft. It's just more of a lean in, isn't it?
It's the fact
he's done it.
There's an action.
Yeah, there's an action. Yeah, there's an action just by leaning. He hasn't like gone like proper like moved his neck like ready to like Glasgow kiss him.
He's giving it a pigeon. He's had a little.
He's having a little peck-any. And you can't. Peke. Should we call him Peke from now on?
Peke, yeah.
Yeah, it is toilet.
It's annoying because he shares the same name as my favourite ever chicken joint, and it really annoys me because Pepe is the one.
Oh, so what? You rather Pepe's over Freddy's and Rio's?
Yeah, man. Pepe's was the one because they had that soft floury burn. Like, they actually cooked their chicken like properly. It was nice.
What about Dixie though?
Dixie's all right.
Because when I lived in East London, right, getting out at East Ham Station, and you're still on the platform, and you just go, "Oh, that's Dixie chicken there. 5 wings and chips for £2."
Yeah, exactly. Depends if you're in the mood for like nice chicken, or if you just want, I want some greasy chicken with some really thin chips with red salt on it. Then it is what it is. And as you can tell, we're talking about chicken. We're talking about chicken because that's pretty much, other than Leeds hitting the bar. Rodrigo came on and had a few decent attempts. One whistled past the post. One hit the stanchion. That was about it. That was honestly, Leeds probably should have won the game. Arsenal probably. Do you know what? It was a tough fixture going into it, and for Arteta to come out of there and Arsenal to come out of there with a point, playing with 10 men against Leeds, it's not the worst result in the world.
Arsenal would definitely be happier with that. One team in London that did pick up a victory today was West Ham United. They won 1-0 away to Sheffield United, and it's really dire now for Sheffield United, isn't it? Yeah. The goal came from Haller, which was an absolute bang, by the way, from edge of the box, right peg, almost ripped the pegs out the bottom of the net, which is lovely. I love those sort of strikes, but what we need to have a look at Sheffield United now, because look at what they did last year, the success, if you want to call it that, from what they had last season. They haven't been able to find their rhythm at all this year, and even when they've been on top in games, they're not able to find goals.
Yeah, they're in real trouble, and I think it's one of those things now as well. I don't look around that squad and think, what changes would you make rather than what Chris Wilder's doing? I don't think any manager comes in there with that squad now and does anything differently and gets different results. They didn't strengthen enough in the summer, and quite a few teams around them did. And the honeymoon period has well and truly ended. And to be honest, I know it's really defeatist, and there's no point in carrying on the season just thinking we're relegated. But if I was Sheffield United now, I would literally kind of start making plans, because I can't see how they're going to get out of this. I really don't. They're not going to be able to go out in January and get anyone, because who's going to want to go join them?
It would just be a bunch of washed up players or a load of championship players.
Talent, yeah.
If you're going to do that, that's telling you one of two things. It's like, well, okay, these championship players are ready to make a step up to the Premier League, or two, a bit like what West Brom did when they bought like Curlon Grant and things like that. It's like, well, these players are known to play in the Championship, so if we do go down, we've got a decent chance of bouncing up
100%.
For next season.
Like I said at the time, Brewster, I didn't think it was a good move. He just looks lost there. McBurney was unlucky to hit the bar, but he did have another decent chance in the first half as well. And that's it. Like, McBurney was one of their record signings. Like, he's not Premier League quality, man. He's not. And that's the problem, and that is what's going to happen. They're not scoring enough goals. Last season, I don't know. It looks like it was because of Dean Henderson, because that's the only thing that's really changed back there. And
same thing happened. Same thing happened with Birmingham City. We said this a few weeks ago on the show. Birmingham City did the same thing. They had Joe Hart. This is when Joe Hart used to be good back in the day, and they had Joe Hart, and they got to 9th in the league that season. And the following season, Joe Hart weren't there anymore, and they went down. Yeah, they won a League Cup against Arsenal, but they had their moment, and they didn't strengthen. They didn't grow in that following season. But I look at their next few fixtures, and it's not looking good for Sheffield United at all, man. John, you could call it a 6-pointer from now. They've got West Brom next week, and then the week after they've got Leicester at home, then Southampton away, then Man United at home, then Brighton away, then Everton at home on Boxing Day. It's not. How many points do you genuinely see them picking up from these few fixtures?
1.
That's 6 fixtures. Yeah, and that's next week.
Yeah. Do you know what I would say as well? Like the Haller goal, it's a good strike, and it's his first ever senior goal from outside the box. Keeper gets a hand to it, and I think he probably should do a little bit better with it.
Yeah, Ramsdale. Like, I think someone tries to dig me out in the group by saying that I was saying, "Oh, I rate Ramsdale. I rate Ramsdale."
Oh, no,
I never said that.
I said it was a bad. I said it was a bad signing for the money.
Yeah, because I said for the money, it's good. It's a good signing, 18.5 million, because that's how much that's cheap in football nowadays. And Ramsdale is still only 21, 22. You know, he's still quite young. He's got the most save percentage in the Premier League, which doesn't really sell a lot. It's more because he's getting peppered all the time. But he didn't look that bad in other teams that he's played in. You know, he's just exposed a lot. So he's got to step up. But then that's what a goalkeeper is meant to do, isn't it? They're meant to stop the ball from going in the back of the net. And if you can't do that, then
you're literally not doing your job.
No, yeah, exactly.
I think Sheffield United are fully doomed now. I think that's it.
Yeah.
But you know what? I really hope they stick with Chris Wilder, and if they go down, like keep him around and try and get him back up. I really hope they don't get rid.
Indeed. Right then. Before
Speaking of another team that are going down.
Yes, it's time for this.
What's our Everton?
We all know the section's called What Are Everton, but it's a lot of the time we have to look at the opposition that they're playing against as well. But it wasn't all plain sailing for them. Fulham 2, Everton 3, the score was. The goals came from Calvert-Lewin after just 42 seconds. Bobby Reid, Bobby DeCorva Reid, as he likes to call himself nowadays, he equalised before Everton raced into a 3-1 lead with goals from Calvert-Lewin again in a lovely move and Decore's header. And then Loftus-Cheek scored in the second half, which came as a bit of a surprise to Steven Cotton. Why did that come as a bit of a surprise, mate?
Oh yeah, because this idiot couldn't sleep last night, so it was about 4:30, and I was like, right, if I'm up this late, I'm definitely not going to be up in time for the kickoff. So I thought, right, let me get my bet on now, and it was Mitrovic and Calvert-Lewin. One shot on target each, even 6-5, and I was thinking that is ridiculous money. Slapped it on. I did wake up in time for the game. I turned it on, saw Mitrovic wasn't starting, and I thought, right, this is bad news. So Mitrovic came on the 60th minute, and he did have a shot on target. And I thought, right, well that's that done because
Calvert-Lewin's got a brace.
Well, it wasn't Calvert-Lewin that I had. It was
Loftus-Cheek.
It was
who was on the bench as well. He was on the bench as well.
Mitrovic and Loftus-Cheek both came on the 60th minute. Both had a shot on target and saved the day, luckily. But it was like you said, it was a double-barreledness. I saw it and I was like, yeah, hang on. And I saw the hyphen in the middle.
It's not even the hyphen. You know, it's DLC and RLC, isn't it? Like DCL and RLC. So it's so easy to get that wrong. But you got away with it, and that's the main thing. And Everton got away with it today because Everton that opened up the game, they weren't messing around. Why are Fulham trying to play out from the back? They know
I don't know.
They know they're not able to do that, and they got done by that. They've done by that actually a couple of times this season already, trying to play out the back and screwing themselves over. But Bobby Reed's goal was pretty tidy as well.
I think I've already said this before, but I'm definitely going to have to get a T-shirt made up, like a 2-up-top T-shirt that literally says, "Just because you can play out from the back doesn't mean you should." I'm pretty sure I've already said that before, but I've definitely said about the actual "don't play out from the back" 1,000 times before. Come on, man! You haven't got Sergio Ramos back there knocking it around with Varane. You're Fulham. You are Fulham. You are in a relegation battle. It's the first minute of the game. What are you doing? You're not.
Oh no!
It's frustrating to watch as a neutral. It's just like, what?
Yeah.
What are you trying to?
I was cutting potatoes. I was cutting potatoes. Oh, boys, come on, man! That was sad stuff. But being there at the right time and the right place. The finish wasn't very clean, but I really appreciate the way that Calvert-Lewin got himself in that position in the first place. And I think that's what Martin Keown was trying to say earlier on comms, but made it look like it was some world-class sort of finish. But I'll get the logic. But the second goal that he scored, that was a nice move, like nice knocking it about and stuff. Iwobi filling out at right wing back.
Yeah. But Everton do play a lot of players out of position. Yeah, well, it worked. Well, almost. Well, it did, but it almost didn't work. The Everton, they honestly, in the last 20 minutes, they're 3-1 up, and Everton literally tried to snatch a draw out of the jaws of victory. Like they were cruising, and then just decided to go, bollocks to this. Let's let Fulham get back in the game, because Fulham scored. It was a sloppy goal. It was a deflection from Loftus-Cheek. But that was it.
Before that, they had a penalty, which they screwed up.
Before that.
Exactly, and Dev Bajwa, who is watching the show, dude, your book is currently over there. I can't reach it, but make sure you go out and buy Dev's book, which is a great book, and it's coming up to Christmas. I would say it's stocking filler, but it's too big to fit in a stocking. But it's a very good book, and you should read it. I've just about coming to the end of it now as well. But yeah, Fulham should just be banned from taking penalties. Now, Fulham really need to start thinking about their relationship with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and just like having that NFL feel, and just finding a penalty taker or a kicker, so to speak, and just wheel them on. Right, I've got a penalty, wheel them on, take the pen, off you go. So, once again, going back to the 5 substitutions rule, if they've made 3 substitutions already and they get a penalty, just bring a penalty taker on.
Do you know, well, Mitrovic had just come on, and I thought, right, after Lookman the other week, like Mitro is going to want this. No.
Why would Mitro want that penalty? He's missed his last 2 for Fulham, and he's stopped his country from making it to the Euros next year.
Well, yeah, exactly. So maybe he wants to prove
retribution.
A point. But who was your man that took the penalty, because he slipped over taking it and put it over?
Is it Kamara? Not Kamara.
It wasn't AK-47, was it?
No, it wasn't AK-47. Bloody hell, I can't remember his frigging name.
That's fine.
Put me on the spot like that. But yeah, seconds later, it was all right, because they were able to bring one back.
Oh, Cavallero,
that's it. Yeah. When because he double kicked it, so he slipped as he's taking it. So yeah, correctly gave an indirect free kick. But you must know what the ground's like as you're going to take it. When you're doing your steps back, if you feel a little bit of uneasiness, you'll aid your run, you'll guide your run in a particular way.
Any Fulham player taking a penalty at the minute feels uneasy, I'm telling you now.
Yeah. I would have let Lookman take it, actually, and been like, right, okay, here's your chance here's your chance for retribution. Yeah. So go out there and bury this one. But no, they fluffed their lines, man. They fluffed their lines. But that's all of Sunday's games. Let's go into Saturday's games. What are you going to say?
It wasn't a very super Sunday. I was just going to say, it wasn't a very super Sunday. I just felt, considering there was 4 games as well, it did just feel like a bit Blair today, the football.
Felt a bit let down by it.
Yeah.
let's should we work backwards or should we work forwards? Before we do that, Ruben should have took it. I've not actually seen Loftus-Cheek take a penalty before, so I don't know what he's about. But he is 6'4" and he's got good composure, so just have a go at it. Really. Let's start at Old Trafford, because there was talking points in that game, and there was talking points in the game before that as well. So we'll sort of tie that in, and our good old pal VAR showing its ugly face once again. Just not long after Halloween, Manchester United 1, West Brom 0. We had the live watch along for this game as well. Bruno Fernandes scored a penalty on 56 minutes. This is the second time we took it after it was retaken for the first one. But literally a minute before that, West Brom were awarded a penalty, and it was rescinded after David Coote went over to have a look at the VAR screen and said, no, it's not a penalty. Thoughts?
My thoughts are, I don't know what the narrative is at the minute. Like it's almost like they've changed the rules and not told anyone. But even pundits, commentators, everyone keeps saying, "Oh well, he's touched the ball first." So there's now this narrative that if you touch the ball first, you can just do what you want, sort of thing.
How many red cards have been given over time where they've got the ball first, but they've eaten through the
plowed through? Yeah.
And they've gone to VAR with it, and they're given a red card anyway.
Honest opinion, I thought the Bruno one probably was a penalty, but as we'll get onto in a minute, there was a very similar one in the Villa game that wasn't given. So again, with the consistency, if you're not going to give one, you can't give one literally an hour later for the exact same thing. I don't know.
I don't think there's any probably about it. It's a penalty, and I would argue as going as close to saying it was Stonewall.
Well, I don't know.
Like, the fact when you see it is literally like is seeing it. It's like, well, the tackles happen, bam, pen. That's how you know it in your heart. And there wasn't even that much protest. There was protest, obviously. There's always protest anyway when a penalty is given, unless it is literally just snapped his leg off. But it wasn't really that much. It was more of a hopeful protest from Man United. So that tells me, why are you even looking at it? Why contravene stuff? Is it a clear and obvious error that was made just there? No, it's not clear and obvious, that error. So if that was the other way around. If that was the other way around and no penalty was given, and they go, "Oh, you should go check that," 9 times out of 10, frig it. 10 times out of 10, it will go to the monitor. Go to the monitor, is given a pen. It's almost like they've said, right, if I go to the monitor, I have to change my decision. Yeah. We have not seen a decision yet from VAR, from a match official going over to the VAR screen, sticking with what they have seen. They've not done it every single time, whether it be a yellow card upgraded to a red card downgraded to a yellow, a penalty should be given or a penalty should not be given. Not once have we seen in this country a decision made on field. They've gone over to the screen and then they've still said, no, I stick with my decision. And that tells me that there is no backbone in match officials right now.
We've said it so many times, man. We really have. Yeah, I mean, if it's given, it's a soft one. But again, he's then looked at it himself, which is what we wanted. At least we're getting somewhere, because for the last few weeks we've been saying we want the referees to go and look and make their own decisions. So he's gone and looked at it, and he's not given it. I don't know. And then we got the other end, and it's a handball, and what can you do?
Yeah.
And oh no, it's on another penalty for Man United. Like, tough. Stop fouling us in the box or stop handball.
That was a pen. There's not. I haven't got any argument with that. Would you say there's a foul in the build-up though?
Not really.
I don't think so either. Everyone, I see that going around a lot on Twitter. I just think it's a bit of a coming together. I don't.
Getting a penalty. Yeah. And then everyone's salty that it was retaken, but the keeper's on the penalty spot. What
makes me laugh is people going, "Oh, well, the second one, the keeper came off the line. That should be retaken." Read the laws of the game. Read the laws of the game. If
We
that
get
goes
the
high and
advantage.
wide, if that goes high and wide, or it goes in the back of the net, that is not going to get retaken because the keeper came off his line again. So don't at me about that. Go speak to IFAB if you want a little bit of clarification on that one.
It was a hard 90 minutes to watch. That was just before we move on. So if you watched the watch along yesterday, I was really, really, really angry at Martial, and after having calmed down and watching the highlights, I am still really, really angry at Martial.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, "I'm really sorry,
no,
Anthony. I'm really sorry, mate. I didn't mean it."
And do you know what? Yeah, he was like it in the Everton game. He literally just wanders, man. He doesn't put an effort in to get in behind. He doesn't offer an option. Mate, Cavani came on, and it's Cavani's 33, 34.
33, yeah.
He's not the
34 on Valentine's Day, did you know?
And he came on and he was making runs. He was moving defenders about. Like, why are you leaving it to this guy who's like not even that fast and old, like doing what you should be doing? Rashford was.
There's nothing wrong with being 33, by the way. It's not old.
Yeah.
Right?
Rashford was the same yesterday as well, though. Not making any decent runs, not getting in behind. It was all very, very, very sideways yesterday, man. Very sideways. Playing, just listen. You know, West Brom are going to sit 11 deep. Why are we starting Mata and Matic, man?
I think what I liked about West Brom though, they weren't scared. They weren't scared. They actually tried. They tried to give you a game and that as well. And Callum Robertson, Northampton's finest, comes off the bench as well. And he hit the bar. He had a good opportunity there with that one. And
but it's almost like we offered them to get back into the game. It was almost like we were like, oh, go on then. It was really bad. It's 3 points. We move on, but I don't want to see more of that from Martial and other players.
Now, I wanted to talk about another club right now, but I feel that we need to stick with the penalty situation because it happened here, and it was Aston Villa 1, Brighton 2. This had a very similar situation that happened in the Manchester United game, and that's why I felt that we should talk about this game next, because I want to know, I want to understand the differences. I want to have a good old chinwag about it. So yes, the goals. Let's talk about the goals first. The goals came from Danny Welbeck. Beautiful finish from Danny Welbeck, chipping the goalkeeper on 12 minutes. Equaliser from Konsa from a corner. It was nice how he made himself available to get his right peg on the end of that. And my boy Solly March, mate. I love Solly March. He ain't even that good, but he's one of those people that I just love. He's just an average Premier League footballer, but it was a really, really, really tidy finish. But the penalty, Cotton.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'm not even. Do you know what? I know what people will say. I haven't even looked on Twitter for Villa or anything, but I know what people will be saying. Serves you right about Sheffield United, this, that, and the other. How you cannot give that as a penalty in the 94th minute or whatever it is? How you cannot give that as a penalty? Like,
it was given once again. It was given and then it was taken away. So, for a bit of clarity for anyone who hasn't seen it, Jack Grealish has got the ball. Did he have the ball? He was about to get to him, and Solly March has taken Grealish's leg out. But as he's gone to make the challenge, the ball has skipped up and touched Solly March on his shin. So what they are trying to say is that Solly March won the ball, got a touch of the ball before he got the man, and that is. It's dire. You have to go back and find it. Anyone who hasn't seen it, if you are watching with us right now, watch it after the show, obviously, because you need to watch us. And if you are listening to the show, please go on YouTube right now or whatever and go find it. You know, it's disgusting.
Like I said, man, all the pundits and stuff. What Peter Walton on BT said, like straight away, it's a penalty. But all the pundits and stuff, again, I don't know where this has come from in the last few weeks, but everyone keeps saying, well, he's touched the ball first. So, like, I can't, what does that mean? I can make a clearance and then slap you in the face. I can't go, well, I've touched the ball first, ref, whap. Like, it doesn't work like that. It's a penalty.
It happened earlier on today. You know, won the ball, still got red. You know, I remember the Arsenal Palace game. I remember that one because Ed Hall.
Who got a red today? Who got a red today?
Who got the red today? Why is my mind eluding me today?
Pepe.
What is wrong with me? Yeah. He touched his balls first, and then that thing on Twitter, that was hilarious as well. But yeah, was it?
They weren't red in the Prem.
No, they weren't today. When was it? Was it the Lamperty thing?
The Lamptey,
That James. Yeah, but yeah, and like saying like about Ed, I remember is when we went down to Crystal Palace and Aubameyang touched the ball slightly on Max Meyer and went to VAR, got a red card, and West Brom didn't give United a game. Behave, baby brain. Your opinion, sir. Your opinion. Come on and speak to us right now. If you disagree. He can't. Okay. Good lad. Love you, Ed. Right. But the penalty is a penalty. Both of them are penalties. There's no argument about it. I don't understand. Once again, they've gone to VAR and they have chosen to overturn what they have seen. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, that was my grievance with the Bruno one when they were VAR in it. I was literally just screaming like, if you're not going to give the one in the Villa game, you ain't giving this one, because you can't. It literally can't be an hour apart. You're deciding to give this one and not another one. And well, they both. I'll tell you what as well. I don't know whether the rest bottled it because it's 94th minute as well, and he's decided like.
Well, he's not bottled it because he's given it. He's initially given it.
And do you know what? Like you said, literally instantly, as soon as he saw the foul, straight to the spot. He didn't hang around. He literally.
And that is your gut as a referee. That is your gut. You literally when you make a decision, you play it back a millisecond after it's happened in your mind, and it's like, right, okay. Or if you're 99% sure it's a penalty, you've got 1% doubt, which means there is an element of doubt. You can't give it. But if you in your soul, in your gut, feel that is 100% a penalty, you hit the whistle, you point in the spot, and off you go.
Yeah,
He's embarrassed himself there. Absolutely embarrassed himself. I love DCL, says Cal Blundell, who's watching the show. Thank you very much for watching.
But yeah, I said this yesterday to Ed as well. The thing, I don't know if I said it to you as well. The thing is, if the ball stays in play, right, and you've taken the player down. Like, okay, if you make that challenge and the player doesn't go down, he can still get to that ball. The fact that you say you've got the ball or whatever, you've literally, like Ed said, you've taken him out of the game. You've not given him a chance to try and get to the ball or the rebound. You've stopped him. You've impeded him. You've stopped him.
He hasn't won the ball though. That's the thing. The ball has skipped up and hit him on the shin. He hasn't intended to gain contact with the ball in that way. So how can you tell me that he's won the ball? He hasn't. I would say
the Villa one is definitely way, even though they're both penalties, the Villa one is way more of a penalty than the United one. The Villa one is a stop. Yeah, the Villa one.
I would say it's the other way around. For me, they are both 100% penalties.
The Bruno one, you can at least see him like nick the ball between his legs.
Shin on shin, man.
It's not as bad as the Villa one, I don't think. I'm not being biased. I think the Bruno one was a penalty. But the Villa one, I think referees just absolutely cacked his pants. 94th minute. They're told to look at the monitor, and he's just had it.
I think we'll agree to disagree on that one. I think we will, because I think the Man United one is literally like, how can you not give anything other than a penalty? I understand the reason why they have overturned it, but at the same time, it's wrong. It shouldn't be overturned in the Brighton Villa game.
Same with the Villa, but like I said, we want consistency. Like,
before we move on,
consistently wrong.
But yeah, exactly.
Consistently wrong.
Before we move on, I want to touch on Brighton at the moment, because Brighton have been playing some really nice football all damn season. They're not picking up enough victories. This win today, how do you feel this will help propel them, excluding next week, because they've got Liverpool next week?
I've said it before though. The thing is, like, you can be really naive with just trying to play nice football and not getting results. But they got the result at the weekend. Whether they should have done or shouldn't have done is another thing. Do you know what? Then I don't think they're in any danger of going down. Realistically, are they looking at European football? I don't think they are. I think they should just carry on. Nothing needs to be drastically changed. Just keep playing your football. There probably needs to be a little bit more grit and determination to like grind out results and break teams down. But they should just stay the way they are. They're playing good football. They're not in any danger. I don't really see. I don't see like it sounds really disrespectful, but I'm not. They're a bit of a middle of the road. Like I don't really. They do excite me sometimes, but then sometimes it's just it is what it is. They're bottom half team. So what?
They've got some relatively nice fixtures coming up though. So yes, they've got Liverpool next week. I don't expect them to get anything. They are playing at home, but who cares who's playing at home and away at the moment with no fans there. They've also got Southampton the week after. Then they've got that's at home. They've got Leicester away. Then they've got Fulham away, Sheffield United at home, and West Ham away on Boxing Day. How many points do you see them getting out of their next 6 games? Because I think it's going to be 10.
10? Yeah, I was gonna say about 9, 8 or 9.
Yeah, I can see them beating Fulham, Sheffield United, and West Ham. If I'm honest, I just don't know. Like that point may come against Leicester. Leicester are weird.
What do you think about Villa at the minute, though? Because obviously they beat Arsenal the other week.
Very convincingly.
They'd lost 3 games on the spin or something before, 2 or 3 games on the spin before that, hadn't they? So they've literally just plodded. Well, they lost. They lost 3 on the bounce before Arsenal or 2. Anyway, but they played Arsenal.
They beat Liverpool and then they lost 3. I think it was. So Leeds, Everton, and Southampton, wasn't it? And then they obviously they beat Arsenal and now they're falling back again. But I don't think they need to worry about anything at all. I mean, like I don't think they need to. They're already performing way better than they are last season.
Yeah.
They just need to make sure they keep Jack Grealish fit because Jack Grealish is the guy, man.
Again, man.
So good. Now Villa's next fixtures. Do you remember at the end of last season when it was all going down? It was Villa West Ham. Well, that's what's happening next week. So it's Villa West Ham next week. Villa playing away. Then they've got Newcastle at home, Wolves away in the West Midlands derby. Then they've got Burnley at home, and then West Brom away in another derby, and then they're squeezing another one in on before Boxing Day. Oh no, that is 6 games there. Crystal Palace at home. Now I can see them picking up out of those 6. I could genuinely see them picking up 16 points out of those.
I see them getting about 9 or 12.
I can see them winning all of those bar 1, and that one will be a draw, and it'll be against Wolves.
I thought they were going to beat Brighton. Mate.
That's the thing. Brighton play nice football. Brighton. Villa do as well.
Yeah, they've returned to being Aston Villa acca killer.
Villa will be really upset by the injury to Ross Barkley. Because that was early on in the game, and like he's like they like to have Jack Grealish as a ball carrier, but the main ball carrier at the moment is Ross Barkley, isn't it? And then feeding it out to Grealish and let him do his magic in the final third. With him missing, I feel that Grealish will have to come back and do a lot more work in the deep. But as long as they haven't got to play Traore, that'll be all right because he's one of the deadest ballers I've ever seen in my life.
He is literally the fact that he is so one-footed for a professional footballer is absolutely astounding. Like he can't even dribble with his other foot. Like he is so you might as well just chop it off. But yeah, we've said like Ajax they didn't care about letting him go. Like he is so poor, man. He's not a great wide player. You don't want him cutting in. You don't like honestly. Trezeguet, I really like Trezeguet.
I like Trezeguet.
Trezeguet's nice. I just don't. Yeah, Traore is just so dead. He won't be long till he's moved on again. I'm telling you.
Nah, and he'll probably find himself in the Championship or something. One team that won't be in the Championship anytime soon is Tottenham Hotspur, who are top of the league at the moment as we speak. They beat Man City. Tottenham Hotspur. They won 2-0 at home to Man City. Man City do not enjoy travelling to that stadium at all. It's funny, they love going to one stadium in North London, but not the other. Son, again, lovely move for that one. What wound me up about Son's goal is that Kane had no involvement, but the commentary team couldn't wait to get Kane's name in their mouths about it. Let's talk about Ndombele for a hot minute, because Ndombele had a wonderful game until he went off because they're saving him. They've got a lot of fixtures coming up. Spurs have. So
they genuinely wanted to be like, oh well, Kane played the pass that led to the pass that led to the free kick happening.
Well, what they said, do you know what they said to it? It was so damn annoying. They were like, well, Kane's played like a decoy role there, coming deep, and the balls just went straight over him. It's dragged defenders out of the way. It's like, no, they haven't. No, they haven't. It's just leave him alone. Kane has his time to do his thing. At the moment, it's the Son show. And let's talk about Son, because Son is playing himself into that sort of world-class category at the moment.
He is, but because Son's been world-class for like a good season and maybe even a season and a half, but Son's been world-class for a while, man. He literally is world-class. Like, I don't think there's not many better left forwards or left wingers that you would want in world football right now that isn't Son. And that you can play as a striker as well.
Yeah. I think that's the joy of it, isn't it? Because he is so versatile across that front three. He looks so comfortable in any one of those positions. He'll score goals, he'll assist. He will happily come and do the dirty work and come deep. Look at that goal that he scored against Burnley last year, which is what we ranked as goal of the season last year. But he's come home. He's come home to do the dirty work, and then he's gone up and taken everyone on. So he is. He's special, man. He's special type.
Speaking of doing the dirty work, Tottenham had a lot of dirty work to deal with. I think honestly, Spurs yesterday, I don't think that the game plan could have gone any better for them. Everyone stuck to their tasks. The midfield was just cleaning up balls. And I know City it was like a siege. They were just penning them in. But whenever there was moments where Tottenham needed to defend or battle in the midfield, everyone to a man was doing it really well. Serge Aurier had a good game. And
Serge Aurier. Serge Aurier, I loved Serge Aurier yesterday because his tackle helped my goat Aka come in, which was lovely. Goal, offside, assist, and tackle. The goal I asked for Son. Thank you very much. 5 minutes in. The offside from Gabriel Jesus. Thank you very much. The assist from Harry Kane, which we'll come on to in a couple of moments, and a tackle from Serge Aurier, 22-1. Thank you very much.
I just want to talk about something really quickly as well. We're talking about the inconsistencies in the rules and officiating. Jesus is humble. I want to fight someone. Honestly, I'm a Man United fan, right? And I honestly want to fight someone over this handball. If I swear, Gav, I will come through that screen and strangle you. If you try and tell me it's a handball, honestly,
it's not. It's not. No, it's not.
It's not even anywhere near his hand. He's hit him here, right?
See, initially, I didn't even think it hit his arm at all.
No, it hit him right there.
But which is even worse because Mike Dean said it hit him here. It hit him here. It's like.
Tell me you've seen that picture. Have you seen the picture of Mike Dean pointing to where he's saying? Well, if that's where it's hit him, it's not handball then, is it, with the new laws? They've got it so wrong. It's not. It's literally like come off his knee and it's hit him like under here and got like trapped there. Honestly, me and Ed were doing a watch along, and I said to him, I was like, "This is why it's very subjective and stuff." Because I said to him, I was like, "We're both watching the same replay. I can't see a handball, mate. I can't see it touching his hand."
Does anyone actually say it is handball?
Yeah. There's quite.
Really? Because initially I actually thought it skipped up and hit him on the chest. So I thought it did. But the fact that Mike Dean has turned around and said, yes, it has hit his arm, but it's hit him above his sleeve. It's hit him there. Then that is truly embarrassing, and that changes the whole dynamic of the game. Because City were in control. They were dominating the game, but they just didn't have any final product. And we can bang on about Jesus again if you like, but it's just.
What I'll say, let me see if I can find it because I'll probably word it right anyway. But there was the most delicious City being City at halftime. Their official Twitter account. Let me see if I can find it because honestly, it's so glorious. It's literally like
poor City.
Yeah, didn't want to win anyway. It was so good. Bear with me 2 seconds.
What you're? What? Oh, go on then.
I've got it. Right, official City Twitter account. This is their tweet. Half time. One of the most one-sided halves of football you're ever going to see in the Premier League, but it's City who go in behind. Cry more! Cry more! Ain't that awful? Ain't that just tragic? Just put 1-0.
Yeah,
and then, you know what? And then it got absolutely even more worse for them.
Well, where I got my assist. It's where I got my assist from Harry Kane. Thank you very much. I didn't think I was going to get it in the end, and he found a Celso. It was 17 seconds. It's the quickest. It's one of the quickest goals as a substitute in Premier League history. And do you know who has got the quickest goal in Premier League history? Actually, and yeah.
Is he currently in the Premier League?
No, he's not currently in the Premier League. One thing I can tell you, he does have a book out. It's not Dev Badger though.
It's a book out. I don't know. Chris Kamara.
No, it was Nicholas Bentner, 1.8 seconds against Tottenham Hotspur.
Oh, Nicky B, and you know I love Nicky B as well. What a goal.
God, almost signed for Man United as a teenager. You could have had a world-class player on your hands there.
Sean will back this up for me quickly. For about a whole year and a whole summer, my background on my phone was that picture of Nicholas Bentner on the beach with a little straw hat on, drinking out of like a coconut. That was my phone background. I loved him.
Right.
I loved him, man.
Oh my Lord, he is a bit of a G. I'm not going to lie. Just because he's just one of those people that gives 0 Fs. Newcastle 0, Chelsea 2. The goals came from a Frankie Fernandez own goal. That's what they dubbed it as in the end. You couldn't try and claim that. And Tammy Abraham on 65 minutes. I didn't really enjoy this game much, if I'm honest. Chelsea were dominant. I do like what Chelsea are doing at the moment. They're keeping a lot of clean sheets. You could argue about this who they're playing against and this, that, and the other, but teams like Newcastle have picked up points this season. You know, they've picked up a couple of wins in that, and to go away on a Saturday afternoon, that first kickoff is always a tough game. You should never bet on it and that sort of stuff. You know, they always say it, and also the fact that pretty much in fact, it was true. All 18 of the match day squad for Chelsea were on international duty, and there was hardly any Newcastle ones that were in comparison. So it could have been very, very hairy, and it didn't work out that way. They went out there, they did a professional job, they got the job done, and off they went.
Yeah, professional job. It was hard to watch at times. I thought
it was very hard to watch, but you go out there, you get your result, you play to win. They've done their thing.
I tell you what, Werner wasted a couple of chances. There's especially one where he was trying to, instead of taking the shot, he was trying to square it across. So I think was it Ziyech? Either way, it was a very underhit pass, and it was just a complete waste. But yeah, Chelsea just keep marching on, man. And the thing is, like, They should be, with the players they have and the squad they have. They should be doing well. That's it. Like, I don't think we need to praise them too much. Like,
I think the reason why the praise is being heaped on is because we've been banging on about how crass defensively Chelsea have been, and Lampard doesn't know how to defend and that sort of stuff. We look at all the games that they've kept clean sheets in this season. Yeah, they should be keeping clean sheets, but under Lampard, these are games that they haven't been keeping clean sheets. And I do feel that having someone like Mendy in goal, or as the commentators call it, and all the Chelsea now fans call him, Mondo. For having him in goal, it is making a difference. He has provided a more calming.
Yeah, I was going to say, because the defence aren't terrified anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and Rudiger got his first start of the season as well in the Premier League. I love Rudiger. I think he should be starting for Chelsea every week.
Mate, me and you would have kept a clean sheet in that Chelsea defence with Joelinton playing the way he was and Carroll coming on. Like, what?
Dude, you maybe because you are like 6'6", but me, I'm not. I'll probably help out. I'll probably help out in a sweeper position or something.
What does it matter? Joelinton could still beat you in the air to the header and still not score. So we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Yeah,
Newcastle,
we'll make something happen.
What do you see? Do you know what? Like, Newcastle, I've said it before. Steve Bruce just doesn't get the credit he deserves for steadying the ship and.
I've been seeing lots of new Steve Bruce out stuff.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, this
seeing
is the thing, and I was
loads
just
of it.
about to. I was just about to say, it's the same thing every single year, right? And me and you have had this conversation 10 times. Newcastle fans, it's not 1995-96 anymore. Kevin Keegan isn't your manager. Shearer isn't up front, and you haven't got Peter Beardsley playing. It's not the same time. You don't have any right to still think you should be up there and that you should be this powerhouse in football anymore. It's not the case. Like,
Well, they were never a powerhouse. I think that because their club is they got close, but they never were. You know, they honestly think they are a big club. No, you are a one club city, and you have a massive fan base. That's what it is. You don't.
Yeah.
You're not a big club, so I think Newcastle fans need to remember where they're at. They've got a tough fixture list at the moment. For me, I would say it is anyway. They've got Palace away. That's not going to be easy. Villa away. West Brom at home. That's 3 points. Leeds away. Fulham at home. That's 3 points. And then Newcastle have also got to go to Man City on Boxing Day. And easy, man. And easy.
They've got to go to City on Boxing Day. And I'll tell you, I would love it.
I would love it if they won. I would love it. Absolutely love it. Right. So that's all the games in the Premier League anyway. And there's 2 games that are playing tomorrow. We'll just rattle through those very, very quickly. That's Burnley versus Crystal Palace.
Wow. I'm glad the pay-per-view's gone, because you just know that stinks of 0-0 pay-per-view, 5:30 kickoff. That is not, no thanks. Not on a Monday. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I'll still watch it because it's football on a Monday, but yeah.
Exactly. I'm going to watch it as well. What were we saying? 1 each on that? No, I'm going 2-1. I'm going 2-1.
Burnley win.
Did you just? Oh, right. Okay. Okay. I was thinking, what the hell's just happened there? And then Wolves. Right, you know what's going to happen now? You said that it's going to be like 5-4 in the Burnley Palace game, and it's going to be dead. It's 0-0 all the time. Wolves versus Southampton. I'm going with the Southampton win on that one as well. I'm going to say a 2-1 on that again, but I think it's going to be very, very tight at 2-1.
Well, do you know? I can see Southampton nicking this. It just depends what Wolves come out, but I think honestly, I'm going to say Southampton. I'm going to say Southampton for that. They're in great form.
Indeed. Now, so that's it really from us. Before we go, we do need to show you a little something. So if you are listening to the show, then pour on you, and you should now go to our YouTube channel, which is www.youtube.com/2@topfootball. So therefore, you can see the picture that Cotton was on about. There he is.
This was my screensaver for a whole year.
Lord Bentner smashing out some forward
drinking
cocktail.
Out of a mango or whatever it
is. In a coconut with a straw on the beach. Strong shades as well. He absolutely loves it. But that's it. Let's I was going to say get a table up. We should start doing that more. Or doing it on the Bundesliga show. I don't know why I don't do it on this. But yeah, follow us on all social media at @2@topfootball, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all the jazzmatazz. You'll be able to find it. And subscribe to our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/2@topfootball. And did you know if you put 2@top into Google, our name comes up first?
I did. And if you type in Bentner coconut into Google, that image comes up first as well.
Brilliant. So for myself, Gav Mack and Steven Cotton, thank you and good night.
See you later.